Okay, let me ask you something. How do you think Alex Hormozi is selling hundreds of thousands of copies of his new book, $100 million Money Models, without running a single paid ad? No flashy funnels, no Facebook ads, no punchy launches. Instead, he's using a funnel so clever, it actually flips the traditional book selling playbook upside down. And today I'm gonna break it down step by step in plain English. By the way, if you are new here, I'm D. On this channel, I break down outbound strategies, GTM workflows, and the kind of systems big entrepreneurs use to scale their businesses. Think of it like this: I go deep into the playbooks that are usually kept behind the closed doors and I simplify them so you can actually use them in your businesses. Alright, let's get into Hormuz's funnel. Let's start with how Hormozi gets your attention in the first place. If you have been on YouTube, LinkedIn, or Twitter lately, you have probably seen him. He's literally everywhere. But here is the thing: it's not a volume, it's about the type of content he puts out. More people online pump out the same motivational fluff, like wake up at 5 a.m. or believe in yourself. Hormozi, he skips all that. Instead, he gives away tactical, step by step business advice that feels like it should be locked inside a $1,000 course. For example, how to structure offers so people say yes, how to scale a business without burning out, how to actually think about money flow as an operator. It's not a hype, it's real playbook level content. And here is a psychology behind it. When you give away knowledge that feels like it should have cost money, people start thinking like, if this is free, the paid stuff must be insane. So that's the step one of Hormuz's funnel. He builds trust before ever asking for a single dollar. Now here is where things get crazy. Most authors will say grab my book for $20, but Hormuzi flips that completely. Instead, his offer is pay $5,998 for 200 copies. You keep one and the another 199 get donated to the entrepreneurs around the world in your name. So wait a second, $6,000 for books sound insane at first, right? But that's exactly why it works. Because the real product is not just the book. When you buy 200 copies bundle, you unlock an entire package of perks that completely changes the value equation. So here is what's included. One hardback copy for yourself, 198 donated copies shipped to entrepreneurs globally claimed for free. Just pay shippings. And 12 premium playbooks. These are actual internal SOPs from acquisition.com, not fluff. So yearly access to the audiobook and an online courses, a live virtual workshop with Hormuzi's team where they break down the strategies in depth. And final, the showstopper, ACQ AI, a chatbot trained on Hormuzi's books, playbooks, and consulting notes, basically a 24/7 Alex Hormuzi in your pocket answering business questions. So the $5,998 is not just for books, it's the price of admission into Hormuzi's world. And that's a genius here. He frames the offer from buy my $30 book to join my ecosystem with one time investment. Now, instead of questioning whether a $30 book is worth it, you are thinking like, wow, $5,998 is actually no brainer for everything I'm getting. Plus, here is a kicker. Every time someone buys, it funds to the donation of 199 free books. And that leads us to the next step. Then it doesn't stop there. You started listening to his podcast where he gives away even more tactical advice. You're recommended to his YouTube content where he breaks down case studies and frameworks in long form detail. You pump into his acquisition.com content, playbooks, blogs, emails that give you more insight into scaling companies. And eventually, you might even get invited to events, workshops, or masterminds. Now, here is where the backend funnel gets brilliant. If you're just a small business owner, the content alone builds trust and loyalty. But if you're running a serious company, let's say $3 million, $10 million, or even $30 million plus in revenue, you might actually qualify for something much bigger: investment through acquisition.com. So, what looked like just a book at first is actually the front door into an entire business empire. The book doesn't end with a transaction, it begins with a transformation. It shifts your attention, your trust, and eventually, maybe even your equity straight into the Homosis world. That's why step 3 is so powerful. The backend is not a course or a quick upsell. The backend is an entire ecosystem designed to capture your attention for the long haul. Alright, let's talk about the multiplier effect because this is where Homosis strategy turns into rocket fuel. Remember the $5,998 bundle and those 199 donated books? On the surface, it looks generous, almost like charity, but strategically, it's one of the smartest distribution hacks you'll ever see. Here is why. When 199 extra copies are given away in someone else's name, a few things happen. Thousands of new readers suddenly get access to his books for free. Those readers start posting about it on Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube. Each one becomes a mini marketing node, spreading his frameworks, his brand, and his name without Hormozi spending a single dollar on ads. This creates what's called a flywheel effect. Like donated books leads to more readers leads to more attention and credibility, and more attention leads to more inbound deals flow for acquisition.com. And because it's so viral in nature, it stacks. Each new person who gets a free copy becomes another person who might share it with their team, recommend it to their network, or even buy into one of Hormozi's higher level offers. Now, instead of burning cash on ads or chasing cold leads, Hormozi uses his own audience as the distribution channel. His readers are not just customers, they are amplifiers. Every donated book is basically a seed. When you plant enough seeds across the market, what happens? You grow an entire forest of attention. That's the snowball effect. It starts small, a few free books here and there, but it compounds into a massive momentum that no paid ads could replicate at the same cost. Let's zoom out and really look at the genius of this funnel. Most authors approach a book launch like this: how many copies can I sell? How much royalty can I make? It's all about squeezing short term profit out of sales. Hormozy doesn't think that way. His perspective is completely different. For him, the book is not the product, the book is the trust building machine. It's a bait, but not in a manipulative sense. It's a bait in a sense that gives us so much value upfront. You can't help but want to know what else is behind this curtain. And once you step inside his orbit, the opportunities compound. You don't just see a book anymore. You see a podcast, a YouTube channel, a email newsletter, playbooks, AI tools, workshops, and maybe even investments for your company. This is why Hormozis can build a nine-figure empire without spending millions on ads. The book is his Trojan horse. It looks simple on the outside, but once it gets inside, it opens a gates to something much bigger. So while other authors are chasing book sales, Hormozi is using the book to generate equity, deal flow, and long-term brand dominance. That's a genius play. It's not about how many copies are sold, it's about how many doors the book opens. If you're in B2B or building any kind of businesses, here is what you can steal from Hormozi's playbook. Number one, lead with insane free value. Don't just offer a teaser, give away something so good that people feel guilty getting it for free. Like Hormozi gives away a $100 million playbook, not a 10-page ebook. Number two, make your product bigger than just a product. People don't buy books, courses, or softwares, they buy outcomes. Frame your product as a gateway to transformation, not just a tool. Number three, stack perks no one else can match. Like Homosi didn't say buy one book. Instead, he said pay for 200 copies, you get one, and the rest of get donated. That's a flex no one else was doing, and it turned a normal book launch into a movement. And number four, play the long game with trust. This book itself is not where he is chasing out, it's where he is chasing in on attention, authority, and trust. Every free copy becomes a new lead for his bigger businesses. That's the genius. He is not selling a book, he is building a trust funnel that compounds into 100 million plus dollars empire. At the end of the day, the real genius is not just selling a book, it's building a movement. And if you apply even a fraction of his book, you won't just get sales, you'll earn trust, authority, and customer for life. So, what do you think is the smartest move in this funnel? The social media hype, the donated model, or the genius upsell? Comment in comments. And hey, if you want more breakdowns like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I have got plenty more strategy deep dives coming your way. See you in the next video. Bye.